Today we're going to be spotlighting the Emax Canopy product, fairly new release here in 2015. And if you don't know what an Emax is and you think it's four-wheel drive, well, it's kind of four-wheel drive. We've got the four prop spinning, the Emax NightHawk 250 Pro quadcopter. Don't know why they call it 250, it's actually 280, but whatever. Figured we'd have an opportunity to throw some style at these things, and I think it turned out real well. Covers up some of the spaghetti you got going on inside, but kind of cleans it up. And we're going to take you through a couple of quick pointers to get you there as quickly and easily as possible. Just a couple of tools you need. I got some curved Lexan scissors, razor knife, X-Acto knife, whatever you want to use there. You're not going to be needing anything real sharp. We'll talk about a little bit about that here in just a minute. Pen might help you mark out your lines here on the side and whatnot. You just got a little line right in there. Kind of hard to see with my funky light in here. All right, we've gone ahead and put a couple of lines on here just to give you a quick example. Got a little dive down there. You can see the notch there in the corner just a little bit. Get that in focus there. That's not too bad. You get the idea. But we've just got a little line about an 1/8 inch away from this top surface here. And let's just go ahead and rip these things apart real quick. Kind of see that crease. Boy, I'm sorry about this lighting. It's just something awful. But there we go. That'll kind of pick it up for you. But something that I've picked up, get some of these things out of the way. If you can get there, and we'll see if I can do it on camera. But you just kind of find a position and lock your hand on the table. Hold her nice and steady. Don't put too much pressure on it. And if you've got a straight line like on this particular product, you can just go ahead and touch it in that groove and move your piece. Don't move your hand. This old blade. It does not need to be sharp. You do not need to put much pressure on it. All we're going to do, and what I've learned to do over the last quite a few years, is score and break. Now you're still going to need them scissors in there on the corners here, but we'll show you that here in a minute. First, you want to pick up the same kind of technique you just did with the pen. You want to find that position and lock it in. Find yourself a good guide point, and no pressure. All you're doing is scoring the surface, just barely scratching it. That's all you need to do. This time I like to lock in the piece, and then I'm going to move the blade. We're just coming around the last side here. We're just going to locate that into that scratch right there and just drag it on down the line. Like I say, very little pressure. Got my thumb protected back to the other side of the material. Like I say, these techniques can be applied to almost any Lexan body or canopy or whatever you're working with out of polycarbonate, or Lexan as it's called. That's kind of scary. This will work great for you. A lot of less prep work afterwards. Once again, just very little pressure. We're just kind of scoring the surface. Let's roll it around this edge here. We'll come up to the front here and get it on camera so you can see what I'm doing. We'll lay it up into that line, and we're just barely touching it. Very little pressure. Go ahead and finish out that line into that one. We'll do the same thing right here. Oh, it helps if you can see it. We'll just catch that line right there, and we'll roll the blade around this corner. Just very little pressure. Then we're matched up with that next one. So on and so forth. Okay, you're pretty much done with the razor knife. We've gone around every surface of this. We're going to do some different work here in these triangles, but it's easier just to run that straight line. And kind of like doing a wheel well or something. Go ahead and do your pre-work. Get the harder stuff dialed into a separate section. That way it's easier to work with. You don't have all this mess in the way. But the next part is, it's going to be kind of hard to break this because all the corners are still intact. That's where your scissors are going to come into play. Let's go ahead and jump in here, and you want to have the curved scissors lined up to make that line that you're going to break a point. So I'm going to run these scissors right up into that edge. And you can see it kind of bend and start to open up, and go ahead and stop shy. I stopped just shy of the corner. That polycarbonate's going to want to continue to run that way, and that's what you're hoping for. It's going to run into that area that you've already scored your line. It's naturally going to want to crack into that area. Okay, we've got this nose piece. Now let's just go ahead and bend it, and looky there, just a uber clean line. We're not too bad, just a couple of little things we got to clean up there from going around the corner, but look how much easier that was. We're going to do the same thing to these two corners. Like I say, just make that line into a point. You want to point to the corner. And stop just shy. See how I wanted to kind of get there and start cracking on me? That's what you want. We'll do the same thing over here. Turn them scissors around and just get up there into the corner like that. And we'll just do the same thing. Kind of gently rock it back and forth. Might have to get a little pinch right there. You can hear it just start to break there. Good stuff. Should just come right off. Not too bad. Quick knife work will knock that out. We'll just come back in here and do it again. Get up there into the corner. Let it crack on the score line, just like the previous two. Alright, we've saved you the heartache of having to watch me trim that out again. But we'll go straight to the reward. We've already got our corners trimmed. Everybody's ready to rock and been pre-popped. Start off with the big side. Looky there, just cracking right off there. Rock it back and forth a couple times. Once again, make sure and pull away from your masking. Just pull down right there. Oh, she don't want to go. And roll it over with your finger again. Should just come right off there. Get this front part right quick. And we're on to the last side. Same deal. Rock it back and forth. Release your corner. Make sure you're close enough to it. And she'll just pop right off there. There we go. Work around it with our knife. Pretty good. Helps if that's on camera, huh? Just taking them off there real easy. Couple little burrs. Well, this thing don't want to focus today, does it? Well, you make sure and focus, pay attention to what you're doing. Don't watch me, or do watch me, one or the other. But, yeah, let's go ahead and clean up our mess right quick and get this junk out of the way. And it's just as simple as that. Got them all trimmed out. And let's go ahead and talk about how we're going to get this mounted on here. Ready to wash these up here in a minute. One more move we need to make on this, and we're going to jump for the scissors here. Pretty easy little cut. You're going to kind of use the thickness of your Lexan scissors, and you want to run this 1/8 inch that we've left behind all the way up around here. You got a bolt on this Emax chassis that lands right about there on this canopy piece, and you just want to try and trim it out a little bit. We'll get in here and get it started. See if I can stop running my mouth long enough to pay attention to what I'm doing. Alright, and we're back. Went ahead and slapped some black on there. Just kind of using it as a backer, just to black it all out. Just hit it with the heat gun on its lowest setting just to hurry up and get it to dry. We've been letting it sit here and flash for about an hour and a half or so. And let's go ahead and just peel off this masking and get ready to get to it. Sometimes a bit of a pickle just to get it started here, but stuff's on there pretty good. Let's get her started up in one corner and we'll go from there. And there we go. Black's always beautiful. And if you can see, if we can get this to focus all right, right here, and the other two, those are zip ties. And that's a zip tie. The way I've done it here is you've got the rear zip tie going in front of your rearmost post. Maybe we can see it better under here. Get out of the way there. Yes, I'm using Dean's. Kind of come from rock crawling here. A lot of my products are based in that genre of RC, but here we've got the zip tie right back behind there. I think you can see it. I've poor man anodized these posts. They used to be green, just a black permanent marker. Done deal. And then we've got this one back behind that post as well. So you got the back one in the front, the middle one behind it, and also the front one behind it. And because of those zip ties positioning, it locks it from going forwards and backwards. Them puppies ain't moving. Alright, at this point we could cheat, but I won't, since I already have the panels there with the holes marked. That'd be cheating. I wouldn't be showing you how to do nothing. That's just copying somebody else's work. And here we'll take a quick look at the spaghetti I have going on from the receiver to the flight controller in here. Like I say, just a mess. But this will help cover it up if you leave it, which I don't suggest you do. But this is how you're going to go about doing it. Make sure you're lined up good as you want to be back here on the edge. I usually draw it back just a little bit from the front here. You can kind of see that. But you'll get up in here and you'll just use a regular old pencil. You just want to line it up as best you can with that edge of that post. You're going to be in front of the back one, remember. And you're just going to drag just a soft little line. Try not to scratch your paint too much. It'll be enough. You'll see the scuff. You're just trying to scuff it. Kind of like the scoring, we're just scuffing. You'll do the same thing up in here. A little hard to get to with all the wires in the way, but there we go. There's a mark. And we'll come up here and do the same thing. Scooch that receiver up out of the way. Not sure if you can see it there, but you get the idea. We're just going to ride it right along that edge and make a little scuff. Only need to do this once. Then you just let her fall off there. We'll see if the camera can pick it up here, but yep, there's a scuff right there next to the reflection of the light. There's the other one right at the top of them triangles, and the last one's just barely, there we go, showing up right there. Now just find whatever you want to do. I'd suggest going just about right there. Just give yourself a little room from the edge. We'll say about a 1/4 inch or so. I like to just kind of reach for any doodad around the shop and use that as a guide. We'll grab this old zip tie. We'll just use that as a gauge. Just trying to make all these even. This is all about just trying to make it look good. There we go. That's a little better. We'll just slide it on down to this one and line it up with that edge and hit it again with the pencil. It's not rocket science, but might as well take a minute and see if you can get them lined up good. We'll flip it around and line her up for the top one. Alright, there we go. Oh, we moved on us a little bit. I think that'll do it for us. And we'll come back into it here. We'll try and find the mark. We're right about there, so it looks good. We'll just give it a little push Make us a nice little dimple there. And we got another one. Probably real hard for you to see on the camera there, the crosshatch that we got going on, but I can see it all right in here. Not much better than you, honestly, but looks like we're in good shape there. And remember, we mismarked this one the first time a little too deep, so we're going for the more shallow one, zip tie width. And there's our mark. Just like that, you got them prepped. And we've got our drill ready to go. Got our holes already marked. Just line her up on the hole. Don't drill through your finger. See, I got a little gap in between there. Well, maybe you can't see, but trust me, I got a gap in between there. I don't want to drill my finger either. We'll just blow through it right quick. No harm, no foul. Got a fairly new bit here. Move your fingers out of the way. Just be ready for it to jump. More good stuff. Go for the last hole here. Now these are smaller than what they need to be. We're going to blow them out just a little bit bigger on the next drill bit here. But before we do that, let's go ahead and match mark the other set. I told you I wasn't going to have to do it twice. This is kind of twice right here. But go ahead and line it up on its end. See how I got them, both of them sitting there together in my hand? Lined up on their edges. Just go in there real soft. Keep that drill bit as square as you can. Just make it a soft little mark there. You're not going to try and drill through. Don't move. And we'll go for the last one. Try to hold your position there. There's many other ways to do this, but this works just fine. We're not building something to go to the moon. We're just having a ball with it in the backyard or your local park. And we've marked the last one. Let's see what we got going on there. Hey, looky there, that's not too bad. There's the back mark, there's the center mark, and the front mark. And before we reach into it, we'll just do the same thing again. You reach for your awl or whatever pointy thing you can find. Make a little dimple in there so your drill bit's got a good place to start. There's the second one. And the last one. Now you're just about home free if you wasn't going for one of our graphics packages. And get the fingers out of the way there. Just making a mess here. It's not a big deal. Just blew right on through. Good stuff. Alright, we got both sides done. Come back in there and break them things off. Not a big deal. Let's go ahead and test fit this puppy, see if that zip tie go in there. It might just be big enough. With a little persuasion it might, but we'll probably move to the bigger drill bit. Let's go ahead and flip them out right quick. Alright, let's see if we can get a set of these new quad skins on here. We've got the Hot Rod Red Chrome Flames looking real sharp here. As you can see, they kind of match up with that side is that side, and this side is that side. Got little separate triangle pieces here and here, here and here. These are high quality laminated vinyl skins by freakyskins.com. Tell Neil I sent you. He's your man. We'll go ahead and start peeling these off and see how well they fit. This is the first time, so you can see. You can sit back and grab you a cold beverage and watch me struggle along and see how painless these are going to be. These are air release, meaning that if you get it stuck on there and you don't like where it's at, as long as you don't deform it too bad, you should be in good shape to peel it back up and put it right back down. You don't want excessively greasy hands or anything like that, but we're going to just get it laid in on here. I'm thinking, just from my experiences laying skins, we ought to just center it up front to back and line up this center panel. Looks like that's pretty good. We'll check the fit. This is gently, I'm still holding up this other side over here. You can even just come on back like that and see how I've got it held down with my finger. Looks like he's done us right. Get her lined up right there with the edge and just roll her down with your finger a little bit. We'll worry about the detailing it out, and try not to twist it right here. You got her kind of thin area right there, top of that triangle right there, but should be all right. We'll just start laying her down, and it worked out pretty simple. Yep, that's gonna show us our holes right there now. So we'll have to go back through there and clear them holes out. There's our other hole, and that hole there. Now I'm going to reach for a heat gun here, and we're going to just very gently heat up these edges up here, just to help it start conforming to what shape you need. It's got just a little bit of rollover. That one there, it should stick all right. Let's give it a shot that way. We'll just kind of burnish it down with our thumb here just a little bit. Yep, just like that. Work around the back here. Yeah, I might just need a little bit of heat there on the corners especially. That'll help it lay down. Alright, and the heat gun seemed to have done the trick. Help that lay down real nice around them corners there. Just a little bit of heat, not much. It'll just lay right down there for you. Alright, we'll go ahead and move on to these triangle filler pieces here. We'll just see about lining it up off of one of the other edges and see where, we'll hope it lands good. I'm thinking we've probably got some overlap going on, but we'll just lay it in there like we think it ought to and go from there. Looks like it might just be a little big, I'm not sure here. Of course our graphics aren't lining up real good. That's quite difficult to do, make it stretch around there like that. We'll have to see about getting that done. Might be a better position on this, I'm not sure. Come back around and match it up where it ought to be. See how air release working for you? Just give her a little tug, just give her a little bit more length. There we go, making a good seam. Try not to push a bubble back down into it there. Not bad, not bad. Alright, and here I've just reached for the awl. Just kind of a little point on there. I already had the holes, of course, but now we got a skin covering it up. Just going to reach in there and gently kind of poke, prod, and pierce it just a little bit. Rotate it, spin it a little bit, get it out of the way. Same thing with that one there. And this last one I saved just for you. Right there. And we should be ready to go. Oh, that one came out real good. Lexan's actually going to cut the skin just a little bit. Now, we're going to go ahead. Notice the front. This is the black part there. We'll start on this one here. Just go ahead and take your zip ties. Zoom it right on in through the hole. Pull it through all the way. Just like that. We'll do that 2 more times on this side. Just put her on in there. Pull it all the way through to the other side. And one more time. And we'll get ready to mount this puppy up. I'll try to line them up. Just makes them look a little better. See, we've got our 3 nuts left over from before. We'll start with just this first side here. Now remember, we had the rear zip tie in front of the back post, and the other 2 are behind the other 2 posts. So we'll just send it right on in there. We got some electronics in the way on this one, but that's alright. Let's get it finagled over to the other side. Oh, we're just making a mess of it here. That one's going in there fine. And we'll get ready to get it onto this other side. We'll send this one through it, just the opposite direction. One more time. Oh, we'll get in there. There we go. Just make sure and line it up a little bit. Try not to have anything in the way there. Almost a done deal. You take your zip tie. Now pay attention to what side you're putting on there. You got to look for the teeth on the zip tie. Looks like all the teeth are on the back. We got that little part there. Yeah, camera's not going to make it out, but we'll get it on there. Right like that. Just pull it kind of snug. Grab the other two here. And help hold it in position a little bit. And one more time for the front. I'm going to reach for our needle nose, pliers, whatever you got. Put your thumbnail on there. Just give it a little pull. Pull it snug. You don't have to put the monster on it or nothing. Just kind of holding it in place. You're just about home free. Should be good enough there. Grab our scissors here. And we'll just trim off the excess. Oh, where'd she go? That one and that one. And now it's a done deal. Look pretty sharp. Some hot rod red chrome with the flames on there. Should get you noticed at the next racing event. Like I say, hit us up on dinkyrc.com for the Emax NightHawk 250 Kricket Canopy is what we're looking at today. And if you're wanting some skins, we've got a few available here pretty soon. By the time you see this video, they ought to be up on our website. Looking for something custom, go ahead and talk to Neil at freakyskins.com and just check us out. I appreciate you taking the time to bear with me and watch through this video. Hope it helped you out with some tips and tricks on trimming Lexan bodies and whatnot. We'll catch you on the flip side. Now go do something.